Prom! Prom! Alright, I really don't know what that intro was. It was just something that I kind of just thought of doing, like, right as I was about to start recording. Now, as we know, I'm not really the type of guy to do a storytime type video on my channel, but I figure it's good because this event is actually coming up. So I thought I'd just share my story of the first time that I experienced the phenomenon of prom. So as we know, I don't really do storytime videos on my channel, so if you do enjoy this video, be sure to hit the like button. It really boosts my self-esteem because it's like at a below average, and I'd like to boost it up a little bit. While you're down there hitting the like button, you can also hit the subscribe button, and I honestly won't tell anybody. Alright, first of all, I just want to show you the setup that I'm actually recording on right now, because I'm actually in the basement because my brother is upstairs watching Netflix. I really didn't want to record it to bother him because he's laying in bed doing it, so I'm in the basement right now. Popping up on the screen right now should be a picture, if I remember to put it in, of my setup at the moment. It's pretty crazy. So as we all know, the story of kind of like how prom goes, it's really just an event primarily directed at juniors and seniors. Right? I think it's for most schools, they don't allow anybody under, like it's typically a junior senior type thing. For our freshmen and sophomores, we have this thing called winter formal. It's just a dance that goes to midnight, and then it just that's it. All right, so my first year though at this experience, so let me just give you a bit of a backstory. So my freshman year was 2013 to 2014. Like, that was the year, was fall of 13 to spring of 14. I'm the youngest of 5 siblings. I have 3 older sisters and an older brother, and the sister that's the next older than me. So it was her senior year, and she hung out with like a group of friends. Like she's always been kind of like this popular lady around the school. Just because that's just her personality, that's who she is as a person. But she always kind of stuck around this small group of friends. Right, she knew who to surround herself with and who she wanted to be surrounded with. That's just kind of like how our family was raised, and so that's what she really did throughout high school. Well, senior year comes around, and one of her best friends was saying that she had nobody to go to prom with, and as a freshman, you can't go to prom unless you get asked by a junior or senior. And so my sister was like, "Hey, if you don't find anybody by like a month or 2 months before," I think it was like more like 2 months before, if you don't find anybody by then you know, my little brother would gladly go with you. So time goes on. So I was walking down the school hallway right by the media center, which for those who don't know, that's kind of like the library. That's and anyway, so I was walking right by there, or right before there, because that was her destination of where she needed to go, was the media center. While I was walking down the hallway, right before I walked by the media center, I walked up right next to her, and I was like, "Hey." She's like, "Hey." We just kept walking, just standing right next to each other. It was like, okay, it's just, I was saying hi because I knew who she was. Like, anyway, so I said, "What up?" And she's like, so it's quiet for like maybe 5 seconds, and then she's like, "Will you go to prom with me?" Instantly, I'm like, "Sure." And we kept walking. She's like, "Cool." Turns into the media center, and I'm like, "Wait, you were serious, right?" She's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Really?" And she's like, "Yeah, 100%." And I was like, "Can I get it in writing?" like who asks that? Like, I just asked her, like, "Can I get this verified by your signature?" And so she's like, "Sure." And so we went in. And then she took out a pen and a piece of paper, and she wrote, "I am going to prom with Nate," and then signed it Abby. And I was like, "Dude, I have it in writing now. Like, this is real. This is awesome. Like, I'm a freshman going to prom." Like, there weren't many of those in our class, so that was pretty neat for me. I actually still have that sheet of paper, and if I remember to take a picture of it, then I will post it on the screen right here. Like, that's yeah, I still have that. That's hanging on a bulletin board in my room. That's just an interesting story to tell. So the time goes on, I ordered my tux, and she actually had a really, really nice looking, we got my tux and everything. You know, the typical vest matching the dress type scenario going on. So they have this thing where there's like called the Grand March. I don't know how many schools do this, so I don't know how many people will be familiar with the situation. It's this event where basically, so the entire town can see every girl's dress that wants to be seen, like all the girls' dresses who wanted to show off their dress. All the girls who want to show off their dress do the Grand March, right? And basically, it's this little event called pre-prom, and right before pre-prom starts, it's the Grand March. They just have this little archway, and then all these girls parading in with their dates and their dresses, and so we went in just to do the Grand March, just to do it, I guess. And while we were doing it, we did the robot, and I think there's pictures on Facebook. So if I find them, I'll put those up on the screen too. But we did the robot, and it was actually pretty lit because it got some applause to that one. I tried it last year with my date last year for my junior year prom, and it didn't get the same effect as it did my freshman year. Yeah, that's basically my Grand March experience. But I remember for pre-prom, they were running around with like fake money, because that was one of the acts on stage for pre-prom, was like this group, and they were singing Thrift Shop, and they ran around with fake money and like did the Make It Rain thing on the audience, and like I was like, hey, can I have your fake money? And then throughout the night, I would just go up to random chaperones, which were all like teachers and stuff. So like I would go up to my science teacher and be like, hey, thanks for all the work you do here. Hand him a fake bill and just be like, this is for the guy who made the punch. And it was like, nice, Nate, you're good at this. But they were like fake $1 bills, and I was like, don't spend it all in one place now. Oh my god, I'm so fucking stupid, bro. As the night goes on, it was probably about 11 o'clock, right before then, because we have the school dance that goes on from like 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock to midnight, right? That's the dance part of it. And then from midnight to 5 a.m. is after prom. And that's the part everybody goes to, because that's where they give all the free shit away. That's where the hypnotist is. Like, that's where the whole shebang goes down, right? Is that after prom. So we left prom at about 11 o'clock, and we quickly went home and changed into just casual wear that we could wear to after prom. And then we went and drove to the next town over to get poncheros. Like we were really craving some poncheros at this time. And so it was just me, Abby, my date, and then another person from my sister's grade. It was a guy named Chase and his girlfriend. And we drove in this truck, and Chase was going like, I think it was like 90 miles an hour down the country roads to get to the next town over, and the entire way he was just yelling, poncheros! Dude, my parents are upstairs. I wonder if they're like, what the fuck am I doing? Anyway, so we go and get poncheros. It was actually the first time I think I ever ate poncheros. I don't know if that's relevant information or anything that should be cared about, I guess. But anyway, so we went to the poncheros, got what we needed, sat down, ate for a little bit, drank a little bit of juice. I don't know, pop, probably. We got back in the truck, and we drove back to our house, where we got in the car and then drove down to the fairgrounds where after prom takes place. And we had a good time. We went to the hypnotist. That was actually, I saw my sister get hypnotized. It was the funniest fucking shit I think I've honestly ever seen her do in my life. It was hilarious. They had this table full of like prizes that you could win, and everybody got a bag if once you played the games and got so many punch cards. Then you brought it up, and they'd be like, all right, you can pick any bag from the table. And so we would pick a bag. I actually picked a bag that was full of like gift cards and candy, and so I was like pretty hyped about that. But my sister picked up a bag that was like strictly for seniors, and it was like how to apply for colleges and how to do this and how to like just do adult shit, right? It's super fucking boring. And so she was like, hey, to the person behind the counter, she was like, hey, this bag sucks. And she's like, I'm sorry, I can't give you a new one. Like, that's the rules. That's what I was told. She's like, this bag is horrible. Like, it's honestly the worst bag. She's like, I really can't do anything about it. And so she turns away, and then my sister like quickly puts the bag down and picks up the other one and just walks away. And inside the other one was just a soccer ball. And she's like, dude, this is actually more lit than that other thing because it's a fucking soccer ball, right? It's actually a really nice soccer ball, too. I wish I would have picked that bag. All right, so my sister ended up winning Jeopardy. It's exactly like the game show. Like, he'll read off a question, and you hit your buzzer, and they're designed so that the person who actually hit first, their light actually goes up first. And all the other ones lock off. It's a very nice setup. I honestly, like, I wish I took a electrical course so I knew how they did it. Anyway, so my sister ended up winning that, and the prize to win that particular game was a Kindle, a Kindle Fire HD, because that was like brand new at the time in 2014. Yeah, this was April 2014, so that was brand new at the time. And somebody else won Beats at the end of the night, and my sister was like, hey, she's like, I will trade you this Kindle Fire HD, this $200 product, right? I'll trade you for your Beats, which is like $130. And she was like, okay, like, yeah. And everyone was like, Jen, you're so stupid. And then she was like, dude, like, the Beats are so worth it. I already have a tablet. This is the perfect trade. And she still uses those Beats every day. Every time she comes home, it's like 3 years later, and she's still using those. And it's like, it's a good investment. I bet that Kindle Fire HD is like probably not even that great at the moment. Anyway, so 5 o'clock rolls around, right at the end of the night. Everybody's leaving. We go out to the cars, and that's pretty much where the ending of the prom experience happens. Anyway, so that basically wraps up this first experience with the event of the prom. So I hope you all have a good and safe prom this year for all those who are going. If you aren't going because you're too young, then just wait. It's actually a really, really fun time. But when you do get the opportunity to go, don't pass it up. It's a good event. It's a good experience to have. Anyway, so if you did enjoy this video, be sure to smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. My name's Graf, and it's been real. So, peace. I'm probably going to do a slow fade right here. But if not, then I'll go whoosh. Okay, so I forgot to even mention that, like, I took part in pre-proms. I was going through Facebook to find the picture of me doing the robot, and I found this picture also. Like, this was like 4 years ago, so that's why I don't remember, but still, like, still pretty cool. Anyway, now it's over.